Season 4 has officially come to an end, and I thought just for fun that I would review the tanks that were present within the season. Starting off with the Tier 7, the Blitz Nation Collector Heavy, the E-100. If we go ahead and take a look at the stats of the vehicle, you can see that the turret is upwards of 196 once it's fully upgraded, and 163 millimeters of frontal hull armor at that. And then this is what the current armor profile looks like against 170 millimeters thickness of standard ammunition. There's going to be a lot of troll spots. The turret is upwards of 218 to 219. The full-on upper infrastructure is going to be an auto ricochet upwards of 271. And then the full-on lower plate is going to be 144 to 145. Using its gun depression, it's going to thicken it now to 237 to 239, along with the upper plate, which is now going to be upwards of 351. When loading heats upwards of 237, it's still not going to be possible as it's too thick in order for the turret to be overmatched. But on flat ground, yeah, you can slightly overmatch the turret as it's upwards of about 227 to 229. You'll be able to overmatch it without a jiffy at that. So, once we go to make our way towards the side of the vehicle, you can see that the side of the turret is 146 to 147, and then the full-on side is upwards of 102 to 104. And then for the rear, the back of the turret is 108, and then the back side where the engine deck is located is upwards of 98. HE is pretty much not going to be non-existent considering this vehicle has 2 bits of thickness of back armor, which is crazy enough. Along with the fully upgraded gun, it carries 1,779 damage per minute with a 13.49 second reload time. And then for the average pen, 184 on the standard, 237 on the premium, and 81 on the high explosive. And then for the average damage, 400 on the standard, 340 on the premium, and 500 on the high explosive. Combined as well with a 4.7 second aiming time, that's actually kind of mid, with 0.346 dispersion. Not necessarily going to be pretty in consideration to aiming your shells fully on into where exactly they're flying to. Just keep that in mind. And then finally for the top speed, it goes at 32 kilometers per hour in forward and 13 kilometers per hour in reverse, with a power to weight of 11.3 at that as well. We're going to be getting into some gameplay now into the E-100, see how we can fare well. Really the only downside with the E-100 is that it's just so slow in terms of its whole speed. I mean, watch this. I'm going to go on over towards the right side and you guys will just see how poor of traverse speed that this thing has. The turret speed, which is surprisingly enough quicker than the whole traverse speed, is actually where sometimes, if you're lucky enough, varying on if a light or a medium has pretty solid power to weight in order to outmaneuver this thing, or in this case, probably not, then that's really where the turret speed, yeah, look at that. The turret speed is much faster, and then there's the whole speed. Ugh, that is nasty. It's going to take forever to turn your vehicle pretty much in that regard, which is kind of unfortunate upon its behalf. Alright, and yep, you can already see the top speed is pretty much not doing its job at that, so yeah, that just goes to show, for something that's very heavily armored at that, it just goes to show that maneuverability can affect it in that regards too. But there we go, a nice 453 tap with the Skoda right there. Alright, so it should get a nice chunker out into him. Alright, so let's go ahead and reload. Maybe we can get another tap into the Skoda at that, if he's still overexposed. We got 2 enemies off in the back, a Bulldog and also a M41D. Alright, there's a T-43 coming up towards the top, so I don't really know what to do at this point. I mean, I have 0 maneuverability, and I can't get into the front line pretty quick. Okay, so it looks like the Skoda's moved on down. So mainly, I'm going to go ahead and focus on some of these enemies over here. T-43 looks like he's going to poke out on top, but we do got the Chrysler K spotted off in the side. Oh my gosh, yep, there's the top speed not contributing towards me once again. Alright, so we got to guarantee a heat shell into his lower plate, unless if we can spot the T-43, which it looks like he's going to come on over. Alright, well, unfortunately not. But there's a nice tap into the Barask right there. Alright, here comes the T-43 now. Oh, yep, and we are getting kerblunkered at that. Yep, Tier 8s can butter right through this armor no matter what, so it's just kind of rat. So anyways, let's see, we got the Barask off to the side again. Let's see if we can get a quick tap into him. There we go, 433 tap into him. Alright. Well, my T-29 is going to get kerblunkered in the process, so I'm going to have to go ahead and quickly mosey my way down before these enemies have a chance to try to tunnel my ass. Alright, it's probably not going to be the case considering look at how slow this thing is. Oh my gosh, it is so rat. Alright, well, we got the Chrysler moseying on right behind us. He's not able to spot me in that regards, which is good. Alright, so really the only thing that I can do is just make my way up towards the little hill right there. Alright, we also got the Barask once again, and nice, and we are going to get kerblunkered, and that is our game right there. Yep, it just goes to show. The E-10 has zero maneuverability, and it's going to be highly unlikely that you're going to be getting out of danger zones for that matter, because it's just not possible with a super heavy like this. And apparently, Tier 8s can just butter right through this armor too like it's nothing, like you just saw right there. Well, luckily enough for us, I think that we are going to win this game wherever my LTTB is. Oh, never mind. I don't think we are actually going to win this game considering... Oh, it might be the case. Maybe. Just maybe. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And unfortunately enough, that was not the case. We just had a bunch of rat teammates at that. So that's part of the process in Blitz right there. So we still managed to do 1775 in this one. And we did third on the team. I don't even know how our team did not manage to hold that off in the very end. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get into a second game. So I think the main thing about the E-10 is that you just got to stick with your team. That is the only problem, though, is that this thing does not have the maneuverability factors to keep on up. That's pretty much what you could consider for a super heavy with this loads amount of armor. But as you saw with Tier 8s, they just butter right through it like it's nothing. So that's the only issue that's concerning with the E-10 at that. So anyways, here we are into battle number 2. It's another Tier 8 battle at that, which is kind of crazy. I love how the matchmaker loves to screw us with these higher tiered battles. So let's see what they got. They have a BZ-166. They have a Tiger 2. Oh wow, this is a lot of Tier 8s in that one. That's crazy. Alright. So, best thing we can possibly do is just go ahead and mosey on over to the right. See if we can poke over a ridgeline of some sorts. Well, the good news is that we did hit our shots the last game, and it's just a matter of fact if your team is able to support you in the long run. So, which I really hope is going to occur in this one, which it looks like our Pergetto is getting absolutely kerblunkered, and that's going to cost him the rest of his hit points right there. Yep, he's already dead. We just love this game nowadays, guys. It's just like winning doesn't exist no more, so that's crazy. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue moving on forward then. It looks like all of their enemies are over towards the left side, which is unfortunate. Alright. So let's see. They got a Scorpion off in the back. Their CS-52 is low health, so... Let's see. Oh, they got a BZ off in the back. It looks like that he's AFK, so... Oh, never mind. He's not. Alright, so we're just going to kind of poke around right over here. We did spot that Tiger 2 just at the slightest bit. Alright, so it looks like he's going to move on forward. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, we also got the Gravedigger off to the side. Let's go ahead and get a nice tap for 393 into him. Alright, and we are spotted at that. We got the Scorpion off to the side. Looks like that he is probably going to pen me. Oh, never mind. Surprisingly enough that he didn't. Alright, it looked like he wasn't aiming in on me, surprisingly enough. Alright, we're going to get a nice tap into the Scorpion for 489, I think that's what it read. I couldn't see because the other vehicle was off in the back. Or blocking the alpha damage that I chunkered into that enemy. So, let's see. Tiger 2 is probably going to be spotted. We got the SDA-1 as well. Alright, Gravedigger off to the side once again. Let's get a quick tap into him. There we go. Nice clear into him. Alright, let's go ahead and mosey on back just in case if the Scorpion tries to eyeball us. Yep, he is. Alright, so that's good. Alright, let's see if we can poke him once again and maybe get a nice tap into him. Oh, that shell didn't hit. Or maybe it did, I don't know. Well, there's only one way to find out. I think I did see a spark come out of the ground, so I highly doubt that I did manage to get a shell into him. Well, yep, that happened to be the case at that. So we're going to aim in on the Scorpion once again. There we go, 467 into his tank. All right, so reloading once again. We are actually in a very good spot at the moment so that we can out-trade the majority of these enemies right over here. And wow, we are going to lose this once again. Crazy. All right, well, at least I can finish off the Scorpion. That's the good news. All right, and we got the SDA. Looks like he's going to come in right behind us. Alright, yep, here he is. Alright. So I'm just going to kind of remain in a side scrape right here, just in case if he does end up poking on out. There we go, 409 tap into him. There we go, troll bounce at that. Hopefully the T-34 has enough hit point factors to finish him off. Alright, so we're just going to kind of angle. Okay, so that doesn't really work. Alright, we're going to kind of get an HE into his rear. Nice, 493 into him. Alright, we're going to get in a face hug with this guy now. Alright, I don't know if he screwed himself or not, but... let's see. we're just gonna kind of... Oh, yep, he is screwed. So anyways, aiming in on the engine deck once again, and he is finished off. All right, well, the bad news is that we are the only ones left, so that is not fairly ideal. But I do assume that I can pull this off if I play this right. All right, we got the Tiger off in the back. Yep, there's the aiming time, not contributing towards me whatsoever. So the only thing I can really do is see if I can get a clear into this enemy Tiger 2 before these enemies end up poking off in the side. Nice, which is exactly what we do. That's beautiful. All right, where is the enemy BZ at? All right, we got the Death Star. Looks like he's moseying directly right behind us, so that is not good. All right, there is the BZ, so I'm going to mosey on forward right there and get a... Okay, well, the game just loves to screw us at that, so this is going to be a solid loss at that. Not that this was our fault. Our team just couldn't hold to the best that they could once again. So, yep, here it comes. We got... Yep. That just goes to show that this game is just so rat, man. Like, it's just Blitz for you. Like I said, winning doesn't exist in this game. Like, how is that even supposed to happen? Like, oh my gosh. Well, 36-25, we were able to destroy 4, pull a first class, surprisingly enough. And yep, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Let's look at the team, as a matter of fact. T-34 is a 46%, T-34 is a 46%, RHM is a 56%, surprisingly enough. Forget 46, obviously this player is bad because he ran out in the open. 43%, AMX 50, 49%, and the KV4 is a 51%. Yeah, that's exactly the one I'm talking about. And why Blitz is going downhill, for the matter of fact that more and more new people are coming into the game, and it is screwing other players' win rates, whether they have a higher win percent than they do, or it just bases on their skill level, which anybody in this game has 0 of, pretty much. So, yep. Like I said before, I think I've told you guys this many times, is that I had an old account with a 55% win rate. More and more new players came into the game. Now I'm at 22,000 battles with almost a 50% evenly. So, yep, that's just Blitz for ya. So, all I can really say is that get used to it. So, for any other new players that are coming into the game too, that's all I gotta say. So anyways, another tier 8 battle at this one, which is kind of rat, and it looks like there's another 2 tier 7 matchup in this one, so oh boy, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose a third time. That would be crazy. So anyways, let's go ahead and mosey on over here. I do got to admit, though, for those losses, this vehicle is still very strong at that. So you can get the occasional troll bounce here and there, like you just saw with that STA. Like we were able to AG his rear like it was nothing. All right, we got an AT-15 off in the back. You got the other E-10, and unfortunately the shell flies high, surprisingly enough. All right. Let's see who else is going to poke on over here. All right, so it looks like their enemies are moving on forward, so we're going to have to move on forward along with that. So, we're moseying on through. We got a Panther M10. It looks like he's going to try to flank in behind us. All right, let's go ahead and make a poke right over here. Maybe get a tap into the Tiger 1 or Tiger 2 at that. Thank you, Death Star. I appreciate that. We got the side of his turret exposed for 357. Nice. AT-15 gets a shot into us, but that is totally fine. All right, let's go ahead and mosey on forward then. Man, this Death Star is really just being a pest right now. Or my team is not really letting me get any shots out in that regards, which is kind of rat. So we're going to go ahead and mosey on forward, maybe get a clear into this enemy. Oh, well, here's the AT. Let's see if we get a clear into him, though. Unfortunately not, as the shell just flies towards the side, but didn't guarantee the pen, which is unfortunate. So, all right. Well, we did lose a majority of our hit points, considering that they have flanking mediums off in the back. Not that it necessarily worked, because now their whole full enemy team over here is dead. All right. Let's go ahead and mosey on through. It looks like this is going to be another steamroll, which is crazy. Or not another steamroll. Our first steamroll in a minute, actually. Because I'm not really going to be able to get any damage out in this, because, wow, this tank is super slow. All right. Let's mosey on up over here. Maybe get a tap into the AMX right here. Oh, yep. And his rear is exposed. There's a 440 chunker into him. All right. We're not even going to be able to surpass 1,000 damage, which is crazy. All right. So reloading. 3, 2, 1. All right. Here's the scent. All right. I have no HEs to process. So there's 401. Well, we did manage to surpass 1,000 damage in that. So I can't complain. That was pretty much a steamroll at that. So, yeah. It just goes to show that the E-10 is also kind of mid. Although it doesn't have maneuverability, you've got armor, which is the most important factor. A gun that really necessarily, for the most part, is going to whiff the majority of shells that you take, but it hits pretty hard. That's really the good thing that goes for it. So that's pretty much all that goes through with the Season 4 Tier 7. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to turn on those bell notifications while at it so you don't miss out on any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.